the street, you got a new treat.
Hey everyone, this is Shua Fan, Application Engineer at Sontech. Today we're going to be talking about what you can do if you're experiencing a spotty radio connection with your S5 or your M9 in the field. So the connection I'm talking about is the one between your laptop and your PCM rover. Now with this supplied antenna, the nominal default spec that you should be getting in the field is 450 meters between the two, and that's about 1,350 feet. And if you do happen to have an RTK system, you should have a base station off in the distance with another PCM. And the distance between your rover PCM and your base station maximum should be about 1,000 meters range that you can get. And again, that's about 3,000 feet. So the actual radio frequency that we're using is the same as Bluetooth, but it's a different Sontech proprietary system. It's a 2.4 gigahertz radio. And as many of you know with Bluetooth and other things of that frequency, you do need a direct line of sight. And it just so happens that at a 2.4 gigahertz frequency, water is a great absorber of the signal. And luckily for us, we're made out of water. And so if you have a human body in between any of the antennas, you are likely to see dropouts in your signal. So just make sure that you're not standing in between any of the antennas in the field. Secondly, something that you can try if you do have an issue with your radio connection is to change the power settings. Now, if you go into the utilities software, you can change those. And right now I'm going to switch to utilities and show you how to do that. So right now you should be seeing on your screen the Sontech utility software, and I have an M9 system that I've connected on my desk. And because I'm directly connected to that system, if you look at the radio transmit power settings on the bottom part of the software, you'll see that they're not highlighted, but they will be active if you are actually using a radio in the field. So again, as I mentioned, the default power setting is the low power, and you can also play with medium or high power. So at low power, the output is going to be about 10 decibel milliwatts, which is pretty standard. Once you go to high power, you're going to be getting to about 22 decibel milliwatts. And that should actually give you, between your PC and your laptop, up to about a 1,500 meter range, or 4,500 feet. So that's quite a bit of an extension compared to the default value. Now just please keep in mind that because we're running at 2.4 gigahertz frequency, this is a frequency that is very sensitive in terms of government location regulations, that sort of thing. So just be aware of where you are and what the regulations are at that location. Another thing that you can look at is the RSSI, and you can access those values through the RiverSurveyor software. And I'll just show you, using my screen, what that looks like. So now you should be seeing a screenshot of the RiverSurveyor Live software. On the top left, you'll see these RSSI values. So typical RSSI values for our systems that are good are between -20 dBm and negative about 85 dBm. So anything beyond that range, you're likely to see communications dropouts. So that's a good way to monitor your communication when you're actually taking a measurement. And then finally, if you're still having issues, as usual, check your basic hardware, connections, batteries, swap out parts if you have spare parts, and see if that solves your issues. So just to summarize, if you're having a spotty radio connection, try first making sure that you have a direct line of sight. Second, play with the power settings and utilities. And then third, check your hardware and your connections. That's all for today, folks. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.